If you're a mum to a teething baby, you know the drill. You put on a cute outfit and 5 minutes later, the bib is completely soaked through and the clothes underneath are wet. Commercial bibs just don't cut it for heavy droolers. Today, I'm going to share with secrets for a bib that actually works. We're covering 3 methods, from a classic professional finish to a 5-minute bandana hack. I'm going to show you how to create high absorbency 3-layer bib that looks designer but acts like a sponge. Then we are going to get faster. I'll show you how to create the same classic shape but with an overlocker in half the time. And finally, for those I need a bib or otherwise this cute outfit will end up in a laundry basket moments, we'll do the ultimate bandana style shortcut. By the end you will have a bib that doesn't just catch the drool but also protects your baby's sensitive skin and matches your favorite outfit. Before we stitch a single line, let's talk fabric. The secret here isn't a fancy waterproof layer. It's all about the core. I'm using a soft cotton muslin for the outside because it's gentle on delicate skin, but cotton or viscose jersey will do the trick too. For methods 1 and 2, I'm using my self-drafted pattern. You can grab that for free on the blog. And I'm cutting 2 outer layers and 1 core on the fold. The real powerhouse is the middle layer. Plain cotton or bamboo toweling. It is a game changer for heavy droolers. Bamboo toweling will be less bulky, softer and more pliable, but cotton is absolutely fine too. Now that we've got our absorbent engine ready, let's start with a method 1, the classic sewing machine. It is the most accessible way to get a professional turned and top stitch finish. It takes a little bit more love, but it is the gold standard for keeping that cute onesie out of the wash. We're going to pin the toweling core to one of the muslin layers. I like to use a decorative stitch here. It looks intentional and keeps the core from shifting in the wash. If you notice your needle pushing the toweling through the muslin, stop and change your needle. I learned that the hard way. Once that's done, press the stitching to really embed it into the fibers. Now pin the outside layers right sides together. Here's my favorite lazy girl hack. I use 2 clips right next to each other to mark my turning hole. I'm usually too focused to remember where to stop, but these 2 clips will act as a stop sign. Use a plain straight stitch to sew the layers together. The pattern calls for a 1 cm allowance. That's about 3/8 of an inch for a quick measurement check. After yet another pressing, trim the seam allowances to reduce the bulk and keep the curves nice and round and the single point sharp. Carefully turn it right side out. Wiggling the seam to get an even edge. Give it a final press before top stitching. Finish it with 1 pair of metal snaps. Just 1. We want them to pull apart easily if they get tugged for safety. The machine finish is beautiful, but let's be real. Sometimes you need to batch sew 10 of those during the nap time. That's where the method 2 comes in, the Overlocker speed run. We're ditching the turning and top stitching to get a reliable bib in half the time. For this one, we're cutting all 3 layers exactly the same size. No turning involved. You just sandwich the core between the muslin and go. Don't forget to trim the neck curve with your Overlocker blade. We want a comfortable fit, not a tight one. On the outside, keep the same allowance if you like. A bigger bib just means more protection for the darling top. Now the trick with the Overlocker is the curves. You want to push the fabric into the blade on the outside curves and then literally straighten the fabric out as you go around the inside of the neck. It feels a bit counterintuitive at first, but it keeps that seam perfectly even. Once you're done, give it a good press and use a darning needle to tuck those thread tails back into the seam for a clean look. But what if you have truly hit the laundry wall and need a bib in 5 minutes? Method 3 is emergency bandana bib. It is a simple triangle that uses up what you already have in your stash. To start with, I am using a square piece of fabric, roughly 30 by 30 centimeters, which is just about 12 inches square. You can upcycle anything for this. If you have a drawer full of muslin cloth, you can actually fold one and get 4 bib outers from it. And use an old bath towel for the middle layer. I'm usually not a huge bandana fan because the wet fabric can sit right against the chin. But when you're down to your last clean bib, this is a lifesaver. I am all about keeping things sustainable, so I am upcycling some layered squares I already had on hand for cleanups. They're the perfect size to whip up a bandana bib in under 5 minutes. You're just repeating that 3-layer sandwich we used in the second method. This time we're starting with squares instead of shaped pattern. It is just as absorbent, but half the effort. Mark a diagonal line, cut and overlock. Then just pop your snaps onto the tips of that longest edge. We are sticking to the same safety rules as the first method. Just one pair of snaps to keep things secure but safe. This method is fast, it reduces the waste, and it is a perfect way to use up your scrap stash. And there you have it, 3 methods that keeps the drool at bay without sacrificing the style or the skin health. The best part, because you're making those yourself, you're not limited to generic baby store prints. You can use scraps from your own fabric stash to create a bib that matches your favorite dress or top for that mummy and me look. It turns a functional necessity into a coordinated accessory. If you found those tips useful, let me know in the comments below which of those methods you're going to try first. If you like this kind of practical reusable sewing projects, you definitely need to check out my reusable sentry pad sewing tutorial. It uses a lot of the same absorbent core logic that we used today. Make sure you head over to my blog for a free pattern download. And get your sewing machine ready, because in the next project we're going to go big. I'm going to show you how to draft and construct a full button-down shirt from scratch. I'll see you there.